Hi, I'm Ellie Crystal from crystallinks.com, and at the Coaxing of Friends, I decided I would attempt to teach whatever is timely, whatever comes to mind. I wasn't sure where to begin because this is my first attempt with the cell phone and this cute little tripod I bought on Amazon, and today I got 2 emails that have to do with numerology. Someone who said that I changed her life by teaching her numerology, and somebody else who wants to learn so we can put these 2 people together. Numerology to me is a very important tool. It's just another, actually, oracle of divination, as they say, that helps you focus. You're here to learn, you're here to connect, you're here to associate what's going on in your life with whatever else is out there. It can be a healing modality, it could be an oracle of divination, it could be an article in the newspaper, something you read, something you see, something you do, something that just connects for you. Numerology, I learned it in 1986 with a teacher named Sue, and she taught it her way, and then like everything else we learn in metaphysics, I kind of modified what I learned to fit the way the patterns work for me. You know, I've learned that all the healing modalities, whether you Reiki, no matter what you do have to modify it to whatever your brain says, yes, this is it. You know, this is the way you personally are guided to do it and should do it. I keep it simple. I keep everything simple. Numerology, I have a file called Personal Years. Those are the ones I use when I'm working with clients to help them focus on their patterns in their life for a particular year and then the years that will follow. Yes, it's generic. Yes, it's general. But it's very easy to follow and people can kind of see how their life fits in. For example, the 1 year. The cycle, I use the Pythagorean system, and the cycle is based on 9 years because you add double digits, so 10 becomes 1. The 1 year obviously speaks for itself. It's new beginnings. It's about me. What do I want? You've just left the end of the last cycle, and suddenly everything inside of you is saying, I want change. I want to maybe go to school, maybe start a new relationship, anything that you want to start, anything that seems important to you. If you feel there's nothing that you really need to change as you go through the year, because this goes year to year, then you will find that new things will come to you. But always remember something, with any oracle of divination, just because synchronicity brings something into your life, and I can do another little blog, if you want to call it, or another little video on synchronicity, but just because it comes into your life does not mean it's a positive. You know, I've met a lot of people who tell me, oh, I was guided to write this book. I spent 4 years writing it. I was told this is the book that's going to heal everything and everybody, and it's going to make a difference for everybody, and it would sell and be a bestseller, etc., etc. And it wasn't. It was just another book. And I've had people tell me I have a garage full of books because I was guided to it. But let's get back to the 1 year, because I do tend to divest. Okay, 1 year is about me. It's about what's going to happen to me in the course of the next 9 years. Okay, you can set up some goals in your mind. You can set up some goals with education, with relationships, a lot of, things that you think, okay, you would like to see unfold in the course of the next 9 years, and then off you go to do it. You may decide you want to work away from home. Just say, I'm going to spend the next few years traveling and living abroad, or whatever is important to you. But it's about you, and you don't let other people influence your decision. These are your decisions that you need to make. Okay, that's the 1 year. Now remember, the years that will follow will help these things manifest. It does not mean it will manifest instantly. Clients have reported that sometimes things do manifest right away because it's a great time to start a new job. Other clients have come back to me after 8-9 years and said it took all this time for what we talked about in my 1 year to actually manifest, into my life. Everybody's patterns are different. Everybody's life path is different. But remember that whatever you're setting up, you have to realize that it is going to affect the people who are in your life or who will come into your life. If you want to use it to do one of these, I'm not into a cult. I'm not into let's do some hokey thing that I want to have a husband or a wife or a partner and I'm going to manifest this perfect person. Yes, I'm in my 1 year. Ah, yes. She is going to come. Maybe he's a she. I don't know. Whatever. They're going to come into my life. But I know the deal and you know the deal. You have to put down all the things you want because now we're trickling into the 2 years about partnerships, business or personal. Okay. So the 2 year, you're going to say, it's the 2 year. This partner is going to come into my life. It's going to be the one. It's going to be the soulmate. Outdated, antiquated thinking. Okay. Do not go to that thinking because you'll be disappointed. Usually someone does come in a 2 year, but be careful now because, folks, we all know the world is crazy. People have issues. People look for caretakers. I could list all the reasons why people partner up. You know them. You know, you've been around the block. You know what's going on in relationships. If you can enjoy a relationship for a short period of time and the average number of years for the big romance, the big that number of years is generally 2 to 2.5. So do not jump into something. I've had too many people who met somebody in a 2 year. The partner came in, the partner said, oh, you are the one I've been waiting for. I'm in love. Let's move in together. Here's a ring. If it's a girl, here's a, whatever. And you start planning these plans. And then one day, that person decides, this is not what I want. So we don't jump into relationships. You take your time. You look at your motivations, you look at theirs, you look at their pros, you look at your well, you know yourself already. You know whether or not you're good in a relationship. You know, because every relationship you're going to get into, okay, is going to reflect issues from the one before. And then should it break up, and it might hold, it might stay. Let's hopeful, be hopeful for you. But should it break up, it's going to bring up all that emotional stuff from every failed relationship you ever had, and you wind up beating yourself up, seeing a shrink, doing drugs. Who knows what people do? I don't know. It's a crazy world. So just saying, but the 2 year is about partnerships, and it could be about friendships too. If you and somebody have been best friends even for decades, and suddenly that person walks away, or you're like, I don't want that person in my life anymore, so be it. You gotta coast. You got to go with the flow with things. You got to determine in your life, certainly in your 1 year, what are the things I can control in my life and what are the things I can't. Okay? What am I good at in a relationship? What am I not good at? And take it a long, hard, careful, slow look at the person you're with, because relationships are filled with surprises. It's 2016 and most people have been around the block. And also remember this too about relationships. The person you are in your 20s is not the one you are in your 30s. You're different in your 40s. You're different in your 50s, 60s. You get to my age in the 70s. You don't even remember why you wanted a relationship. Okay, I've been lucky. I've had very good relationships and I've been fortunate. But let's move into the 3 year. The 3 year is your education, your creativity, your job, your career, opening a business, anything along those lines. It could be a very fun year or it could be a very trying year. As our candidate Donald Trump said, and a lot of other people have said, if you're opening a business, don't use your own money. Really don't. Either get a loan from someone, a bank loan or whatever, to put your own money in and then not see a return right away. You start to panic. Know how much money is, what your limits are with the business. In other words, let's say you put $50,000 into a business and it's not going to show a return for a year. How much more do you have to feed into this? Another $50,000, where you're going to get it? We're in a bad economy right now, okay? We've got 2 presidential candidates, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Donald Trump says we're going to fix the economy. People go for it. People believe it. I'm not saying he's right or he's wrong, but he's not a magician. and the economic downspin that we are in right now, not him nor any other candidate or person is going to turn that around. It could take decades. We won't be here and they could still be suffering, but that's another topic. Hillary Clinton, it's more of the same with business things. We know how we feel about her and finance, and I'm not even going to go there because we're sticking to numerology. So choose your career carefully, because if you're in education and you're in university, make sure that the courses and the classes you're taking will get you a job when you get out. If you're an art history major, what the heck are you going to do with that? If you're studying theology, all these other things, maybe you could go on and take a master's, a PhD, or whatever else. That's fine and good. But don't set yourself up for 4 years of either your parents are paying for your education or you're using savings or inheritance or whatever, however you're getting the money for this, student loans for people, don't do it. Be very, very practical in what you're going to take in college, undergraduate, postgraduate, and that when you're done, you can go out and get a job. And don't forget, I do have to say this in this election year, that the whole economy is going to change, whether it's Clinton or Trump who come in as president. The economy as we know it is going to change, and it should change. Everything should change because it just doesn't work for the people. Another topic. Okay, we get to the 4-year. The 4-year deals with moves, buying and selling houses, real estate, obstacles, and for some reason health is part of that whole obstacle umbrella. So you could check out your health. You might want to, have some checkups where normally you say, I hate doctors, I'm never going, I'm not getting a checkup. Hey, what can I say? That's my theme, but I've been lucky. I'm 73 years old with no medical problems. But I don't know, it is what it is. But let's move to the 5-year. The 5-year is a year of change. What you've set in motion for the 4 or 5 years before that will really start to manifest in terms of change. They could come hard, they could come fast. You may be living in California but offered the job of a lifetime in Boston or New York or some other state. So that's my phone. Okay, to continue. I didn't think about the phone, but okay, we're just playing here. But seriously, now we get to the 6-year. 6 year is a biggie. It's my favorite year. Okay, 6-year. The 6-year is my favorite year. It deals with everything. It deals with family, extended family. You may embrace them more. You may want to make peace with people who you haven't been close with in the past. It deals definitely, if there is a year that you're going to meet a soulmate, the 6 is generally the one, okay? That person will come in, but as I said with the 2-year, those are the 2 big years for this. As I said, take your time. You may be in love. You may think this is the person who's meant to come in and be the person in my life forever, but just be very careful. It also deals with the home and it deals with career. It's like, but it's in a positive way. That's what I love about the 6-year, okay? You can buy a house, you can sell a house, you can do whatever you want to do. There's a very strong positive energy about the 6-year. That's why I consider it my favorite. Let's get to the 7-year. The 7-year is like you've put in all this energy with career and home and everything else. You've met this partner and hopefully it's going well. And then sometimes something turns in the 7-year. The 7 years, like the 1 year, it's about me. This is about me. What do I want? And suddenly, for no reason, your brain is just telling you, I may not want to be with this person anymore. I may want to go in a whole different direction. They may leave you. Some people, my teacher who taught me numerology said the 7-year is often tears and depression. In life today, I think most people living within that realm at the moment, but you keep it busy, you keep it happy as best you can. But the 7-year takes you into metaphysics. Big year for those who are on their spiritual journey, looking for answers, decide I'm going to either take a trip or a class or a workshop or read a book or watch something on YouTube, whatever you want to do to find out the mission. What is my mission? I will discuss that in another little one of these if I like the way this one comes out. But that's the 7 year. The 7 year is really very soul searching, and people also in the 7 year who are part of a culture that has a religious base, like everybody in my culture goes to church, does this, does that. I'm not going to religion now, but they may decide, no, I want to take spirituality the way the healers and the light workers and the energy workers are doing it. Go for it. Go for whatever you are guided to. That's the important thing. But with this guidance business, okay, sometimes you're guided to do something or go somewhere, but take a look at the whole peripheral of it. Like, I had a client once who didn't have much money. She was very nice. She worked. She was married, and she was hell-bent and determined she was going to Egypt, but she didn't have the money to go, but she needed to go. She was pushed to go. I have to go. So somewhere she found this money, borrowed it or whatever, $3,500 plus. And she did have an amazing time, but then she had to come home, and it took her years to pay that back. So as with everything else in life, please be discerning when you're making your choices about what you want to do on your spiritual journey. There's just so much out there on the internet, so many answers, so many qualified people. Keep it simple. Don't get involved with all the crazies out there who are preaching their, well, I shouldn't say bad things about channeling, but basically channeling is all about the love and the light, but that's another topic. You want the here and the now. We're moving towards 2017. You gotta mix and keep in the practical. The people I know who have gone into the spiritual realms, they came back into the practical because you have to live in the here and now, right here, right now, even though something inside of you is telling you something is about to change. Okay, quickly now we go to the 8 year. That's about your money, your career, your job. That means I was taught that if you've been good with money, the rest of the cycle, come your 8 year, money will come to you. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You know, I mean, remember that tools of divination are just, they're generic, they're general, but you just have to look at your job and your career. I would say an 8 year is a nice year to change your job. Think about a new career, think about additional schooling, think about things along those lines, because that parallels the 3 year. You may have started something in your 3 year, and now it's the 8 year coming to the end of the cycle. You've finished your classwork, and now you're saying to yourself, well, you know what? Now I'm ready to change my job. When you change your job, you have to look at economy 2016 and say, what's out there? What does it pay? Okay, it's not like the old days. Economy is another topic to get into, but things, as you know, jobs and businesses to open are not what they used to be. Nothing is what it used to be. It's all going somewhere, but it's not what it was. And then we round off with the 9 year. The 9 year is the last year of a 9 year cycle, because 10, you add your double digits. 10 is 1 plus 0, takes you back to 1. So the 9 year is the sticky one, okay? Plan for it, because the 9 year, the more you push forward, the more you try to get something, the more it pulls back and it eludes you. So you have to be very, very careful in your 9 year. The 9 year, you can end a relationship. People can move out of your life. You can decide, I don't want to be friends with these people anymore. I'm done. I don't like this. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. It's about I'm done. You may find yourself throwing everything in your closet out like, I'm done. You may lose a lot of weight and say, I'm done with all this weight and whatever psychologically it meant to me. It's just endings and getting rid of. 2016 is a 9 year in the universe. And it is what it's taking down in the bigger picture. There's been so many endings for so many people this year. But it's also taken down the Republican Party as once it ruled. And as we know, I'm not going to diss on it, but as we know, the bipartisan parties they don't work for the people. They work for the people who are at the upper echelons, and then as we trickle down to the middle class people, okay, you know what's going on with middle class and poor people just sit around and they're just giving up. I mean, life is very, very hard on planet Earth right now. So you look at numerology in terms of, I started a business, I incorporated, or I did an LLC, or I just opened my doors to this new business on such a date. You add the numbers, you see what they come to, and hope they don't come to a 9, because then your business is screwed and so's your job. But you also have to go forward and you have to say, this is my 9 year. You have to coast in the 9 year. For example, if I was looking at the last TV on the shelf and you're looking at it, we both want it. And I'm in a 1 year, but let's say I'm in a 9 and you're in a 1. Which of us is going to get it? You are, because you're not in a 9 year. Somehow things do not fall to you in a 9 year. The easiest thing you can do is just sit back and let life happen. Don't push. Now, how do you get to what your personal year is? Some people do it for the whole year. I do it birthday to birthday. But you just add, like my birthday, you don't need the year the person was born. It's just their month and day. I was born on 2/17, so it'll always be 2 plus 17 is 8. It'll always be 2 plus 8 plus the current year, which is 2016, which is a 9. So it's 2 plus 8 plus 9, which is 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 is 1 plus 0. I'm in a 1 year, a new year. Soon I'll be moving into, some people would say I'm already at the very, very beginnings, because we're at the beginning of this year. I'm moving into the energy of the 2 year and so forth. Know yourself also. Remember that 2 year. Know yourself. How well can you work in a partnership? Are you good in a business partnership? Are you good working with others? You really, you've been around this planet for a while. Know yourself. Enjoy your numerology. If you want to look up more about personal years, go to www.crystallinks with 1 L, crystallinks.com/numerology. Thank you.